At 11 p.m. on 30th June, an hour before the 23rd anniversary of Hong Kong's handover from Britain, China unveiled a sweeping new national security law for the island city, taking aim at the pro-democracy movement that had captured global attention since last year. What is the new national security law? What are its implications for Hong Kong? And what has been Hong Kong's reaction to this new law? All that and much more in this video. Press subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update on the Young Conservatives. Hong Kong was a British colony for 156 years, but Britain's lease over Hong Kong was to expire on 1st July 1997, and as per the Sino-British Joint Declaration, Britain agreed to return Hong Kong to China. In the Hall of the People in Beijing, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and Chinese Premier Zhao Ziyang signed an agreement committing Britain to return Hong Kong to China in 1997 in return for terms guaranteeing a 50-year extension of Hong Kong's existing way of life, its democratic system of governance, and its capitalist system. Hong Kong is supposed to be a part of China as Hong Kong's special administrative region and exist as one country, two systems until 1st July 2047. But China is in a hurry to take full control of Hong Kong. China has been constantly making moves to further that objective, their most recent one being the Law of People's Republic of China on safeguarding national security in the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. It is important to notify that safeguarding national security here indirectly refers to safeguarding the Communist Party of China. The legislation criminalizes secession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign powers. People convicted of such crimes can face sentences up to life in prison. The law gives Beijing more control of Hong Kong than ever before. Article 11 of the law makes the chief executive of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region directly accountable to Beijing in matters relating to safeguarding national security. Article 12 establishes a committee in Hong Kong for safeguarding national security directly under the supervision of and accountable to Beijing. Furthermore, Article 14 says no institution, organization or individual can interfere in the work of this committee, and the work of the committee shall not be subject to any disclosure. This means Beijing bypassing all democratic accountability in the working of this committee. Under Article 48, China will establish a new department called the Office for Safeguarding National Security. With Beijing's approval, the office would be able to take over jurisdiction from the city's independent law courts under situations highlighted in Article 55. In cases that are taken over by the office, prosecutors as well as adjudicators will be appointed by mainland China, and Chinese procedural laws would apply. If a trial involves state secrets or public order, it could be closed to the media and the public. Only the judgment would be delivered in open court. Notably, the police will have sweeping powers to investigate offences, such as being able to search any premises, vehicles, aircraft, ordering the surrender of travel documents, confiscating property, and upon the chief executive's approval, being able to covertly investigate or tap phones. Such powers have traditionally required prior court approval, but no more, as per the South China Morning Post. Hundreds turned out to protest the legislation in the busy shopping district of Causeway Bay, but were met with heavy security presence. Riot police fired pepper spray into the crowd, dispersed protesters, and deployed water cannons. Police were later seen firing tear gas and rubber bullets. At least 370 people were arrested Wednesday, including 10 on suspicion of violating the national security law. Fearing they could be targeted under the new law, several political and activist groups in the city formally disbanded in advance of the law being introduced Monday. On the streets, the effects could be seen elsewhere too, as shopkeepers tore down posters that supported anti-government protests, and many citizens hastily deleted their social media posts and accounts. China and Hong Kong. Communist authoritarianism on one side and democratic capitalism on the other. There is no doubt that there are rough times ahead. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Till next time, goodbye.